TitleMatchNetwork.com.
At the time, you were also paired with DDP, Diamond Dallas Page.
Right.
What were your thoughts on being teamed up with him?
Dallas is really positive. There were times then when I was going to quit, because I was making $100,000 bouncing.
Right.
So it's like it wasn't that I wasn't making money, and I had a couple little things on the side I was doing, some collections and stuff. So it was like I could, and at this point, Watts has taken over, and Watts has got everybody on like $300 and $400 nightlies. So nobody's getting paid because he was one of those ex-pro wrestlers that would go into the office and tell the Mark bosses that these guys will do this for free. You can pay him a lot less than this to make himself look better.
Right. Did you get along with Bill Watts at all?
No, not at all. Not at all. I thought he was an asshole. I thought he was a bully.
I was going to ask you that. A lot of people say,
He never messed with me like man on man. I mean, he gave me a hard time. But actually, as time went on and he got to know me a little bit, like he was the first one that thought like you could be a big rugged baby face. Maybe that's what you're supposed to be. And he had some insight. I'm not saying he was a stupid guy. I just think that he had some psychological problems.
teaming up with DDP, was he ribbed a lot early on back then? Because, a lot of...
Yeah, he was ribbed a lot. There was one time it was in, God, I can't even think of what town it is. I want to think it was somewhere in Kansas City.
Is this the Battle Royal?
Yeah, when they stripped
Steiners?
him. Yeah.
He told us that. We just did an interview with him last
Did
week.
you?
He was talking about it.
It was funny, because Dallas had like 9,000 layers of shit on. And Hump was his manager. And they had him and he was down, and Robbie just, this is before Robbie was all torn up. Robbie was so innately strong that he just like grabbed him and just pulled it, and like his clothing exploded off of him like a rubber band. And the funny thing was Brad Armstrong was in the Battle Royal, and we got in the back, and he said, I don't know what was worse, seeing Dallas naked or Humperdinck take his shirt off and give it to Dallas, because Hump took his shirt off, which was a sight.
That's great.
But, that was a good rip.
What about Scott Levy? Memories of teaming up with Scotty?
We did he was Scotty the Body back then. Him, Dallas, and I, we were all buddies,
Right.
Scotty and Dallas and I were all buddies. We used to make little road trips together, and those two idiots would put a television on the dashboard and have these cords, and they had a VHS, and they would watch like Roseanne, or they would
totally picture that too.
We go on these road trips, and Dallas is driving or I'm driving, and they've got, and it's not like, the old DVD. I'm talking about
a real TV.
13-inch television jammed in the window of your car. But Dallas, when you travel with Dallas, it looked like Billy Zane getting on the Titanic.
Right.
A 3-day trip, he'd have 57 bags. Dallas, what's in there? That's my, concoction of fruit and vegetables for this juice, and the rest of the guys, it's just like got one little bag, a duffel bag.
Right.
TitleMatchNetwork.com.